don't know.
Since we're on the topic of lollies, do you wanna see a Vice about the pedophilic manga industry in Japan?
Oh boy. Okay, put it on, kirschey. Put the video on. Let's go. Jesus Christ. Here we go.
Alright, so I haven't seen this, so I don't know what's in this, so we're going in blind.
Oh, thanks, kirschey. I'm just gonna put on a video by Vice, the people who put on the horse fucking and donkey fucking. I'm just gonna put that on. That'll be great. That'll work out.
Yeah, I watched another Vice thing the other day about the gayest place on earth, and I got to see big gay bears rubbing up against each other the whole day.
Oh my god.
They took their clothes off and shook each other's penises as a way of like you know, trusting each other. It was weird.
Are they gay bears as in like Baldur's Gate kind of bears, or like?
No, they're like male bears.
Oh, okay.
Like not animal.
Anime and manga are one
hard
of
to tell
Japan's
nowadays.
most popular and lucrative cultural exports.
Could go out of the way. Okay,
Yes.
Oppa Loli, you don't get to be like a grown woman with boobs who's short. Oh, that's Oppa Loli. This is Oppa Loli. This fucking thing. I forget her name. I forgot her fucking name.
This fucking thing.
Iruru, is that her name? Yeah. This is Oppa Loli, right? Like Kana is a loli. I feel like people have like ruined the term loli. Like they use it to describe like anyone that looks like younger, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I firmly state when people bring up lolly in my chat, lolly is a body type. It is not an age. And that's why when you have something like opie lolly, it is an augment to the body type, not the age of the character.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying age. I'm saying like Toru and Rebecca don't look like that different, in my opinion. Like if you put them next to each other, they don't look that different. Rebecca just looks like a lot younger than all the other characters in Edgerunners, in my opinion. But I think Rebecca is short stack. I don't think she's.
I feel like a lot of people like to use the word short stack instead of lolly because they feel weird saying that the character they like is a lolly. I see it very frequently. There are people who like play Azure Lane. They love like Laffy or Shimakaze, and they're just like, no, those aren't lolly. Those are just short stacks. And it's like, my mans, you are in denial. You are out there with the aliens in Egypt, my guy. Okay, like,
Jesus Christ.
So I feel like some people use the short stack to sort of separate themselves and be like, well, I don't like lolly. I only like short stack.
Oh, fuck off.
There are a few really young looking girls in basically little to no clothing.
It's a swimsuit. Or I guess with this, like, this is more understandable, but they're ninjas. They're kunoichi. Like,
To me personally, it's kind of uncomfortable. They're very clearly children.
Oh god, Western women
and
go
it's
home.
Just sort of out on display right here, and people are just walking around it.
oh come on, is this really what you're gonna be like? Oh, this is too
This
sick.
is
Oh,
what
the
she's bitching about.
child.
Oh my god.
Oh, this obvious child in this revealing clothing. It's a fucking bodysuit. She's more clothed than your average ballerina. What do you mean?
I know.
These are just grown adults.
Yeah, these aren't even lollies. What?
Online and in bookshops, there's an entire subgenre of animated
my
child
God.
pornography.
Animated child pornography, by the way.
It's fiction that has no victims. People should be allowed to enjoy themselves in their private worlds. You can't create laws just because of personal objections.
I mean, I feel like that's fair, right? It's just like when I was playing with Blue Archive, I feel weird playing it because they're canonically underage, but I don't give a shit if like other people are playing it because it's fake. It's not real.
Yeah, I think the weird part about Blue Archive is you saying like that the characters look older but are aged down.
Yeah, like there's this one
that's
character
weird.
that I always talk about. She has like massive fucking milker. She looks like a single mom in her 40s that smokes multiple packs a day, right? Like that's literally what she looks like, but she's 15.
That's fucking weird.
In the US, just owning a magazine with animated child porn can get you up to 15 years in prison and label you a sex offender for life.
Why are you showing it
But
then?
not here.
If you think this is child porn, why are you showing it?
If you think that's CP, why are you showing it to us?
Yeah. What does that say? You have that then. You have that. What?
Child pornography was finally banned in Japan in 2014. Publishers lobbied to keep animated child porn legal, arguing that artists' freedom of speech is protected.
I really hate how they call it animated child porn.
It feels so fucking... It's deliberate.
It's so disingenuous.
Yeah.
Today, all manga, no matter how sexually explicit, is protected by law.
Okay.
And that's a bad thing. Why?
What the fuck?
He's 49
I'm not
years
sure.
old, but his drawings focus on children
Come on.
in elementary school. He says it's harmless because it
Okay, personal preference here, but I do think like it's weird, like the realistic faces and stuff.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
Like that's kind of
doesn't
it makes me
involve
uncomfortable.
real kids.
It's just
とかね、SM 雑誌だった。
It's just about a
BDSM
girl who gets
magazine
raped.
is called that?
Was it a BDSM magazine called Rape? Well, that's to the point.
Yeah, I was like, you know what you're getting into at least.
Why dress it up? You know what, people? They want their rape. Let's sell them a magazine. Call it Rape.
Yeah, they get exactly what they want. No false advertising.
Yep. The theme of the magazine was humiliating girls.
Okay,
They just
alright.
told me to draw a
ネ
rape.
タで書こうっていう。
One rape, no more than one.
Only one. Everyone gets one.
I didn't put much thought into it.
This is quite
It's kind of fucked up. It's kind of disturbing.
It's kind of fucked up, but it's just like again, it's just drawing, and like his art style makes it look a lot weirder. I was like, you could find the exact same thing on like Sad Panda, you know?
The thing is, like, presenting this, like, this extreme as, like...
Normal.
Yeah, like, this is, like, the average thing that's going on. Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
No.
This is definitely not average, and I definitely don't see
This
like
is a niche.
comparable to just like regular lolly.
Yeah.
あの
This is actually,
実は
this is a girl who
この
has
女の子
those
は
desires.
そういう願望を持ってる女の子で。
レイプされる願望。
Desire to be
そうです。
raped.
そういういわ
Yeah,
ゆる
she's what we
変態
call a
の
perverted child.
I mean,
Kirsha, read the thing. Read the thing.
bratty child drawing needs correction.
But it's not just about
This is
art.
horrible.
Shinji admits he's attracted to children.
Shinji!
Shinji!
Fucking drawing machine!
Agreed to talk to us because he believes his work prevents pedophiles from abusing kids by allowing them to live out their dark fantasies alone.
I feel like that's kind of a cope. I feel like that's kind of a cope, dude.
I don't know. Like this, I have no opinion on this, right? Because it's like I like this is something that would have to go through like actual like psychologists, ones that aren't
Yeah.
fucking being funded to put out a specific narrative. But
Yeah.
like if people like do the research into this and it does turn out right that like this is an outlet for those people that have that, it's like it's a disease, it's a mental disease. The being a pedophile is like a fucking mental illness. Those people are genuinely like sick in the head, not just like me being an asshole towards them, although they do deserve it. But
They deserve the wood chipper.
yeah, if they are predisposed to that, right? Like all their sexual interest is to children. Like if fictional content, right? Like drawn content, if that can like help them repress those urges for like real children or whatever, like I think that'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting thing for people to do research into. But I have no idea. I have no idea like if this is actually true, if it's a cope or whatever. Like I don't know. It seems like something like professionals would have to get into.
僕自身は
Yeah.
抑止
And
力
it's
だ
like I feel like it's obvious she went looking for a guy that like drew the very like peak of the degeneracy pile of this kind of stuff.
Also, people saying I'm coping. I'm saying I don't know. I'm not saying like I believe either way. I'm saying I don't know. There's no cope on my end because I don't know. Personally, I think of this as a deterrent.
作品を提供できれ
If
ば
I can provide the
そこ
work,
に犯罪を未然に防い
I
だ
will have prevented a real crime.
でもそれはわからないですよ。
それは
But you don't know that. I don't know that.
逆に日本
On the
です
other hand, in
と
Japan, the number
まあ
of
児童に
cases of
対する
sexual
性暴力の
violence
件数が
against
年々上がっている
children has been increasing every
も
year.
しこのリンク
If you can prove that
がある
there's a
っていう
link.
証明が
って
出て
いう証明ができれば
Well, if you can
Can
prove
she
it,
それは仕方
prove
ない
what she's saying though? Is it increasing?
I don't know.
I mean, like, I know Japan has laws about phones needing to have the camera sound on, and I know that they have like the trolley car stuff where some train cars are segregated by sex because of the sexual assaults on trains. But like, I don't know anything about Japan's internal statistics. I'm so far out of that sphere.
Yeah, I mean, another thing with that is people will conflate like reports with the amount of crimes occurring, but like you can
Yeah.
look at countries that don't have reported statistics on sex crimes. That doesn't mean those sex crimes are happening there. It just means they're not reporting. So it could just be there's an increase in those reports because as a culture, people are feeling more comfortable reporting it. or the systems in place are taking it more seriously. Like it's a lot more nuanced than just like, oh, the number go up, that means it happened more.
出るまで待つのはいけないんでしょ。
Is she saying guilty until proven innocent?
That is what she's saying. It's really jarring to remember that the people who will call out like the pedophilic manga industry or say that, you know, all lolicon are pedophiles and whatnot, they're typically the people who defend things like the movie's Cuties as well.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's strange.
This is too horrible to put into words.
その人権
This
侵
is a
害
violation
性
of human rights. They're not human though, they're characters.
Runs an
don't have
organization that
human
helps victims
rights.
of sexual
Yeah,
violence,
fucking Twitter moment,
including kids who have been abused or forced into child pornography.
I sympathize with her on that, right? Like if this person is working with children that have been sexually abused, and like the art style is like realistic, right? Like drawings can elicit empathy and stuff. That's why like drawn PSAs can be a thing, right? So
yeah, like I understand, you know, being able to connect with artwork based on your personal experience and having artwork elicit emotional responses.
Yeah.
But to be like, these drawings are exactly like these real children, I think is not only insulting to those children who have actually been through things, but it's just disingenuous wholesale.
Yeah, I agree with that.
方がですね、こういうふうに見せ物にされてですね、
others were even
性
sexually
的な虐
abused.
待を受けですね。
Is there a link between this material and instances of real abuse against children?
児童虐
It's
待
impossible
を
to measure.
効果があるのかっていうのをこれをもう測定
How
す
it's
ることって
affecting
まず不可
child
能な
abuse.
話ですから私は
But
そう
I
い
think
う
the impact is
影
quite
響っていうの
big.
はものすごくあるのではないかなというふうに認識していますグルーミングを容認
It
しているわけ
condones
です、ね、
child grooming.
かつその児童の虐
And
待
also
を
child
容認
abuse.
しているわけですやはりこう
Isn't this the same like video games cause violence argument? Like literally the same thing?
I think it is. It's the same argument. Like I can see where it's coming from, but fundamentally it's the same argument.
And it's similar to like when Mudahar said that like he watches the beheading videos, right? Like if these drawings are encouraging people to commit crimes, then wouldn't watching real depictions of real crimes be even worse than that? Like it doesn't make sense.
In fact, if young women and children are exposed to this manga,
why would you have children read pornographic manga?
Yeah, like
that,
these magazines.
that would be bad.
These magazines and stuff that these are published in, like in Japanese convenience stores and stuff, like you can buy this stuff in Japanese convenience stores. To my knowledge, I could be completely wrong about this, but from what I've heard, I don't live in Japan, but like you can buy them in stores, but they're like covered with like black bags and stuff, like they're off to their own, like they're hidden from view.
Don't give children the H mangas. It's not that difficult. Like what?
Anymore?
Children are not being married off at young ages. I don't think I can really speak on behalf of like what's happening in Japan culturally, which is where that woman's coming from.
Yeah.
But like in the US, there's definitely a push to like hypersexualize children, and yet the same people who would be okay with that are against like the manga stuff. That's
yeah.
Good.
I feel like in the US though, there's like that cognitive dissonance. I don't know what to make of it, but like it feels like it's like where in the West there's like the push to say like sexual things aren't sexual. And then that coincides with sexualizing children. So it's not like, I feel like in general a push to, I don't know.
Like even before all the current year stuff, I've always felt that like child beauty pageants were kind of grotesque.
Oh, those are horrible.
Yeah, it's very weird to like doll up a child in like a image of a sexualized doll, for lack of a better word here.
Yeah.
And then parade them around on a stage.
Comics showing the violent objectification of children can be picked up at adult bookshops, often for less than $10.
She's cute.
Yeah.
We asked a bunch of these stores whether we can.
If they're at adult bookshops, how are they getting to children? Is there like the weird
Kirsha,
H
stop
manga
asking.
guy?
Stop asking questions, Kirsha!
You got the overcoat guy in the park, and he's like, "Hey kid, I don't got any drugs, but do you want to buy an H manga?"
This is a weird thing to bring up. Like, if she had been like, children are able to get more easy access to these things because of the growth of children using technology at an early age, and this content being so readily available on the internet, like, I think that's a perfectly fair argument. Like, I think actually that's a good argument for your case.
But she wants to go after the brick and mortar stores for some reason?
No, how many literal children do you see walking into adult stores with money, spending their money on adult comics? Come on.
And then, oh god, was it also Vice or was it Slate? There was another place that like gave children a box of sex toys and like filmed their reactions to them. It's on YouTube.
What?
It's on YouTube.
I don't even want to know about that. What the fuck? That's fucking. That's.
but none
Investigate those people.
of them said yes.
Investigate them. That's fucking weird.
With a hidden camera and see just kind of how on display these books are.
It's an adult store! What?
But think of the children in the adult store.
Oh my god.
The stores don't want to risk bad publicity, and we can see why. We visited a few
We
of them.
can see why.
This isn't an adult store thing. This is just in Japan. This is an America thing, actually. A lot of stores just don't want you filming.
The weird thing in America as well with the adult stores is like in some places in the country you're not allowed to call them like sex shops, which is why they're called adult toy stores or adult bookstores.
Yeah.
Because you can't advertise that it's like sexually explicit for some reason.
That's weird.
I think this also goes into a lot of Western people will go to other countries and believe that they can act the same way they do in their home country instead of sort of respecting the culture of the country they're going to. Like you've seen it in the news a million times. I'm not going to bring up like specific cases here, but it's just like it seems to be a continuous attitude that some of these people have.
Well, it's weird because it's like you shouldn't even be doing it in the West anyways. Like you shouldn't be just filming people in fucking public.
The genres that sexualize children and sometimes depict abuse are called shotokan and lolicon, after the classic Western novel Lolita. Some of these stories get...
Well, it's a bit more nuanced than that, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
There are no studies that prove animated child porn leads to actual assault.
Wendy's!
I am amazed she included that in there. Did you hear what she said?
No, I was distracted by Wendy's.
Listen to what she says. Hold on, a little bit of dead air here, and then she'll say it.
There are no studies that prove animated child porn leads to actual assault.
What?
So what was the point of this?
What? Yeah, what was the point of this? Is this just like fear-mongering to Westerners to be like, oh, those damn anime people, they're corrupting the youth?
I don't know. I don't know what the fucking... I don't know. She hates Japanese people. I don't know.
He was also a serial child sex abuser.
What? Where the fuck do you find these people?
I was gonna say, how did she find this person?
What the fuck?
Let's interview a convicted pedophile about how there's a link between pedophilia and these drawn images that we're trying to prove.
What the fuck?
僕はその
My first victim was a girl who was 3 or 4 years old.
Kato agreed to speak to us because he says he wants to stop others from preying on children. He says he's assaulted at least 11 kids, including
Holy
abusing
shit.
girls in public, teaching boys to
How
masturbate,
is he not in
and
prison?
playing children.
I don't know. Why is this man sitting out on this comfy little chair enjoying the sunny weather? This man should be dead.
Yeah, like 11, and you're just out here in like this nice little backyard. Like, what the fuck is happening?
When and how did you realize that you had a sexual desire for children?
中学生の時
I was in middle school.
子供を
Wait, wasn't he also a child?
Yeah, wait a minute. What? What? When I was in college, I found these porn magazines. There was a manga that depicted sexual abuse of young children. That was very quickly, that very quickly became my whole sexual world.
That sounds like a porn
How did
addiction.
reading
It sounds like he already was a pedophile. Not that the manga made him a pedophile, but he was already a pedophile. He read the manga and he was like,
this manga change your understanding of sex and children?
I started reading these manga often.
を見るようになってどんどんどんど
And
んそういう
and more and more,
児童性虐
my
待
desire to
したり
sexually assault
が
children
溜ま
increased.
っている
Could this not also be your hormones from developing, right? Like if you started reading these, you were in middle school, you were sexually attracted to children before this. Like I'm not trying to like make excuses or whatever, but like the logical line of reasoning here is you got older and your sexual desires increased, probably because your hormones were increasing.
It's just like I've seen plenty of fucked up pornography. Yeah, not even just manga, but like all the weird jav stuff that they have going on over there. And not a single time in my life have I had the desire to act out the things in those jav films.
Like what, Kirschey?
Like stuffing your no-no parts with like cockroaches.
Never
or
mind, I don't
eels.
want to know.
Yeah, not only is he fucked up and he was a pedophile before reading it, but he also is one of the people that can't tell the difference between reality and fiction.
Yeah, he's actually delusional. This is an actually delusional pedophile. Why is he out here?
Why is he on the streets? What is going on?
I don't know.
Type of media should be banned in Japan?
Yes. There are people like me who fantasies and actions escalate due to the contents of this manga. Oh, fuck
This
off.
just sounds like he's trying to blame something that's not himself, so he can be like, "Wasn't my fault, bro. I can't be held responsible. You know, I'm insane. It was them picture book."
Yeah, this is the okay, people will do this shit. They'll be like, "Oh, gay media will turn your children gay." Like, this is the same fucking thing. And it's a lot of the time, it's people who are like closeted themselves, feel bad about their own homosexuality, and have to try and take it out on everybody else.
If you let your son watch Queer Eye for the Straight Guy with his friends, then he's gonna turn gay too.
Yeah, it's so disingenuous, man.
Kato eventually turned himself in, but instead of prison,
Wait, he didn't even get caught. He had to turn himself. He had 11 victims. What is happening?
What the fuck?
got 4 years of probation and community service.
What?
Probation for 11 children. What is going on with Japan's legal system?
Okay, you know, I'm kind of with the journalist here. Like, something's fucking up. Something's wrong.
Something's up, but it's not with the manga industry.
Yeah, I don't think it's the manga. I think she's on to something. Wrong cause. Wrong hypothesis. But oh my god, a wrong conclusion. But the comics aren't influencing people. First, these crimes are already occurring.
Finally.
Whether or not the manga exists.
Minoru Ogino is an elected Tokyo official. He's also a manga artist.
Okay, so he also has a vested interest in this.
Yeah. Many people agree that these manga contribute to child sexual abuse. What do you think about this opinion? There's no evidence that this material leads criminals to their act. When the state thinks about laws or regulation, there has to be a scientific basis. That's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
That's a huge fucking
That's
lie.
a lie, dude.
That'd be nice, but that's a lie. Many countries have introduced regulations for moral reasons. Why is Japan the exception here? I think those rules are influenced by each country's cultural set of values and customs. There are countries that have outlawed the depiction of same-sex couples. It's based on the will of the people. That's democracy. Have you purchased these comic books before? I don't think so. Not child pornography.
We showed Ogino.
What did he actually say? I want to know if he actually referred to it as child. I just don't believe it.
I feel like there's no way he called it that.
No. Do we have any? I'm gonna click back a little bit. Somebody listen in on this.
We have to have someone who knows Japanese here, dude.
Hold on. What did he say?
Translator's really twisting the words. We need somebody translate in real time, dude.
Yeah, there's just no way. He said lolicon, so they translated lolicon as child pornography.
Jesus Christ, those disingenuous fucks.
Yeah. Oh, he said not erotic comics. He said lolicon. I can't tell. I don't know.
We showed Ogino.
You learn
one of the
Japanese
comics
because you like
depicting
anime.
child
I
abuse.
learned Japanese to debunk shitty Vice journalists. We are not the same.
Unironically, a good reason to learn. I mean, to figure out if you're being sold lies or not. Can you explain what's depicted in this comic book? There's a little girl, and I guess this must be an old man. He's licking her underwear. Why did you do this to him? Is this really an old man? He's drawn like a monster. What are your thoughts after reading that? It's a comic book for adults that depicts a child, that's it. You think this type of work should be protected? Yes, I do. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I think it should be, so no issues. Right.
There's no plan
Based
to ban
politician?
this abusive manga. Japan's lawmakers say there are no real victims in this. Freedom of expression is enshrined in the Constitution, but child rights advocates warn that the
Does Japan have a constitution?
I guess if she said that, but I didn't think they did.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. What? The USA wrote one for them. Of course we did.
this isn't just a
That sounds right.
Made them
material
have
that's legal
one.
here can and will be viewed everywhere.
God damn.
You've been publishing these manga for over 20 years. But does your family know about the content you're publishing? I hope not. It's difficult to tell them about it. It's not something that I can be proud of. Do you ever feel guilty? Basically, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Logically speaking, what I'm doing isn't good. I'm not doing anything praiseworthy. Okay, can we be real here? He's talking about the fact he's drawing pornography, which has a heavy stigma against it. It's not about the what
pornography is heavily stigmatized regardless of what type of pornography you're drawing in Japan.
Yeah.
ただ
But I haven't broken the law
犯罪を犯してるわけ
either.
でもないので
I feel like having sex while wearing a mask would be very hard.
Probably.
Atsushi
Probably.
Saito is a psychiatric social worker in Tokyo who's treated at least 150 child sex offenders,
Treated?
including Takashi Kato.
How do you treat them?
How many of your clients consume this type of media?
About 90% of them have viewed these titles. Many of the perpetrators say Pandora's box opened for them.
That's just trying to fucking shirk the responsibility of what they've done.
Yeah, because they could say that about anything. Really. Like they could watch. Like, applying the same line of reasoning, right? Like in the West, if there's shows that have like let's talk about all these like teen reality or not reality shows, like these teen what are they fucking called, like Riverdale and shit, right? And Euphoria, these shows that portray like teenagers in sexual situations and stuff. Like you could use the same excuse. Well, it like that is sexualizing the idea of or what is presented as a real minor, right?
Didn't they have like a scene with nudity in it in the Velma cartoon as well, the new one?
They did. They covered it with like bubbles, but yeah.
It's so difficult for our society in Japan to get rid of these sexual depictions of children in manga and anime.
I believe that children's rights are taken lightly in our society.
I can agree with him there if that guy only got fucking probation for 11 assaults on children.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
Some people say that there's no proof that this media links to actual sex crimes against children, but
There just is no proof.
Somebody would have to do like a study on it, but again, even if you studied it, I feel like regardless of who did it, it would be slanted either way, right? Because it's the same argument as video games cause violence.
Yeah, like unless you provide, like people are saying, you can say some people say there's no proof. Well, yeah, some people are saying that because there is no proof. Like there's just nothing that it's not an argument. It doesn't mean anything. Like what?
Also earlier when I got distracted by Wendy's, she also literally said there's no proof.
She did. She admitted it.
but what do you make of this argument?
I don't think people are born thinking they'll become pedophiles. Well, probably not. They're likely conditioned to become pedophiles through Japanese society. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Self-hating. Jesus Christ.
That's okay. Like I can understand from the perspective of like things that I have read, from the perspective of listening to that weird pedophile guy who's assaulted children and is for some reason not locked up, that there's possibly something wrong with their court system that I, as like an outsider, wouldn't really know. Right? It's like clearly something is wrong, but I can't say that like Japanese society on whole is broken and conditions people to become pedophiles, because that seems like demonizing an entire culture of people that doesn't seem to have a culture of child exploitation. There are very high rates of sexual assault on women of all ages for some reason, but also I am not like a Japanese culture expert, so I feel like I'm still very much giving my opinion on something that I only have partial knowledge on.
I really wonder if this is what he said. Bad translation, Chat saying bad translations. Like this seems self-hating.
It very much could be a bad translation because it is Vice, and they are trying to be like, look at how this country has a pedophilic industry they protect.
Yeah. Not everyone will act on this conditioning, but if this material can motivate a person to become a perpetrator, then a serious debate must be had about their existence.
It seems very strange and very slanted.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about all that, man.
Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.